Welcome to this episode of YouTube, where we are managing the sub-zero weather. And as I've talked about earlier, we had a warm fall and a warm early winter, and now we're back to the Minnesota snow and Minnesota Arctic cold front that came through and provided some 23 below weather in the last couple of days. And you can see here the wolves have a very good adaptation for dealing with cold weather. These guard hairs keep the snow at bay. Luna's a little bit damper than we'd normally see. We actually started this Arctic cold spell with a freezing rain event that turned to snow, that turned to cold, so the upper guard hails are a little frosted over. But you can see the wolves are perfectly adapted to moving around and being active in this type of weather. This is Aiden showing a little bit of dominance towards Denali. Aiden's feeling better. We had a little front leg limp here the other day. Created a week of anti-inflammatories to keep him feeling pretty good. And of course, he's got that little bit of an antagonistic relationship with Luna. Luna doesn't quite know how to be social, so she tends to be a little obnoxious submission. Whereas Denali, he came running down with his head tilted in a subordinate posture and did exactly what Aiden wanted in a subordinate. Luna tends to be in his face, kind of pawing at him, certainly not showing the respect for Aiden as a dominant pack leader. So Aiden's fairly tolerant of it. He does a face-off with her there. She's still kind of pushing a little bit, so he's going to do a hard muzzle bite and have her submit. Now, these are all just ritualized dominances. These are not, aggressions, not fighting. He doesn't hate her. I mean, I don't know what he thinks, actually, but you can see they're very controlled methods of getting the desired response, which is a subordinate, or in this case, Luna, who's a dominant pack member, but getting her to submit. And he accomplished his goal. And even though she does have a preemptive, little bit of a scream there, he didn't have contact with her. You can see those muzzle bites are kind of controlled in that mechanism. So that's part of the life in the wintertime. Denali here is the lower ranking male. You can see a little bit of a tooth mark on his, it would be his right eye, underneath his right eye. These hard muzzle bites sometimes involve a little drag of the tooth, and that actually happened to be Luna, who was doing a hard muzzle bite on him and dragged a little bit of hair there. This is Bolts, and Bolts still looking for opportunities, but still maintaining kind of that timid, lower ranking kind of behavior that we see. And so, like I said, the snow started coming. Typically in these Arctic cold fronts, when we have sub-zero weather, we have sun, and this one was actually preceded by a low pressure system coming in and dumping another 3 inches of snow. And so the wolves are very active during that time of the year. As I said, the fresh snow is insulating. In the wild, obviously wolves wouldn't have any issue with snow coming down. They've got a great cover where they can bed down and have no problems in captivity because we have the compaction of where the wolves are interacting. We do use cover hay. And again, it probably isn't necessary, but it is what we consider best management practices for our wolves, is to make sure, especially Luna, who's got a little bit of a joint issue on that back right leg, that we want to make sure that she has a warm insulating place to bed down. So the cover hay is different than straw, and it's a little bit less likely, hopefully, to have some of the burrs that come with the weeds that come out of the straw. And so we are using this in place of straw, and the straw was real yellowish and tended to have a little hollow insulating value. The cover hay is fairly soft and certainly gives the wolves a good place to rest. So this is on top of the pump housing, and again, the pump housing is something that we're installing here this summer. We're going to put UV filters and try to improve some of the water quality issues with algae, and hopefully try to maybe give a secondary kind of a pump system so that we can cool off the exhibit a little bit more. So this has become a very good resting place. Wolves like higher vantage points, and so this is eventually has a function for the pumps, but right now, as far as the wolves concerned, it has a great function in that they get more cover hay and they get a high vantage point to be able to rest. So Luna kind of gets a pick of her spot wherever she wants to go, and because they fill up with snow, we'll continually be raking them knocking off the snow, and if it's too compacted, we'll be adding cover hay as time goes on. So certainly it's something that will keep our wolves visible as well in the front of the exhibit. We'll be designing hopefully some tree cover and some rock work to help cool down the front of the exhibit a little bit, and hopefully try to get them to utilize this pump housing during the summer as well, when they're more likely to go up in the woods and find a hole to crawl into. We will use this to try to help modify their behavior and keep them towards the front of the exhibit. So as I said previously, pups are coming in 2016. Just wanted to note that we do have the pup applications are on the website. You actually need to go to Meet Our Wolves or About Our Wolves, and you go to our wolf logs. A copy of the application and the briefing are where the wolf logs are located. So we typically ask that people have had previous experience with us as pup care participants, have participated in a prerequisite Planning for Pups program, but we also do accept people who have unique circumstances. Maybe you've worked at a shelter for 20 years and you have a lot of hands-on work with animals, especially animals with a little bit of fear avoidance behavior, which is very classic of wolf behavior. Or if you come from another facility, had a previous carnivore experience at a zoo or something like that, just take a look at our application, take a look at our briefing package. We do have week-long and weekend pup care opportunities available for people who want to come and experience and help us socialize our 2016 pups. The other good news is the building construction for the Wolf Care Center addition will be happening in the next couple of weeks. So Grizzer is going to be temporarily offline from the camera, the webcam, because we do need to move some cables to be able to accommodate this new building. He should hopefully be back online within about maybe a month or two, but we will continue to feature video footage on YouTube, and we'll try to get a little bit more video footage of Grizzer to make up for his loss of viewing time. We are still doing a test on the YouTube streaming camera. Our issue has been bandwidth and making sure that we have enough bandwidth, so I know a lot of people say that it freezes up or that it cuts out, but we've been really trying to monitor that. We're happy with the cameras, our gorgeous cameras, and they are, again, also our surveillance cameras, so we use them to not only broadcast the web to the website, but we also use them to record 24 hours a day, 7 days a week behaviors. So we're happy about that, and we're really trying to improve the opportunities for people to view the pups when you're not here. We also still have the annual subscription for the webinar. The early bird special ended, and the regular price webinars are set at $10 for members and $14 for non-members. And we have an annual subscription for $100 for members, and to be able to gain a discount, and also $140 for non-members for an annual subscription to all 14 webinars. So check those out on our website, and thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.